Lomachenko, Teofimo Lopez undercard.
Las Vegas, Nevada. This is boxing. This is Top Rank. Presented by Hall of Fame boxing promoter Mr. Bob Aaron. Sanctioned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission. Executive Director Mr. Bob Bennett. Our ringside physician, David Watson, Jay Coates, Brad Lee, and Zachary Skaggs. Our timekeepers this evening, Jim Cavan, Steve Esposito, and Steve Mazzagatti. This bout is brought to you by Geico and is scheduled for 4 rounds in the welterweight division. Our judges at ringside, Glenn Feldman, Lisa Giampa, and Dave Moretti. And the man in charge at the sound of the bell, Mr. Robert Hoyle. Introducing first out of the blue corner, he weighed in at 145 pounds. Wearing white trunks with blue and red trim, he brings a record of 1 win, no losses, his only victory coming by way of knockout. From Deer Park, New York, Jahi Tucker. Across the ring in the red corner, he weighed in at 142 pounds, wearing black trunks with silver and white trim. He also brings a record of 1 win, no losses. From Buffalo, New York, Charles CG3 Garner III.
Okay. All right, gentlemen. First, we're going to start off with the waistline. Anything on the belt line here will be a low blow because I can see his navel. Anything here on this belt line is going to be a low blow, okay? I want you to give me a good, clean fight and obey my commands, okay? Most importantly, I'm going to warn you about the rabbit punches. Don't do it. We're using instant replay. If you see the light, it belongs to me. Don't worry about it. Continue fighting. Touch him up.
Robert Hoyle with the perfect instructions on what to do in case there is an instant replay situation. Until I break the action, you continue to fight. Both fighters looking for their second victory. Very different time between their pro debuts. Jahi Tucker debuted inside the bubble on September 19th with a first-round knockout win of DeAndre Anderson, while his opponent... What just happened to him?
Hey, he tried to catch him slipping. He didn't think he was paying attention, but Tucker saw it coming.
Let's take a look at exactly what happened. Here you go, kid.
Swinging wildly, you know, that's a little embarrassing right there.
Would have been more embarrassing
on the signage right there.
If Jahi had touched him and it would have been a knockdown.
Listen to me, Bernardo. Every fighter feels that, like, one day they're going to just come out there, just let one hand go, and it's going to end the night.
You can dream.
Yeah, that's what he did. He dreamed right there.
Well, he visualized it, just didn't execute the way he expected. And, you know, Charles Garner, his pro debut was October 2019 against Angel Cotto, making his pro debut at age 25. So it's been about a year since he's last been in the ring. He's got a new team around him.
Yeah, he's looking sharp right now. You know, he's a switch hitter, so he can fight in the orthodox position, and he also can fight in the southpaw as he's doing now. Both guys are actually switch hitters.
We got to see very little of Jahi Tucker in his pro debut as he disposed of his opponent within the first 2 minutes and 40 seconds. But the one thing that Charles Garner is betting on here is the fact that his trainer, Timothy Nolan, has inside knowledge on Jahi from his time with Team USA. So we'll see if that really matters or if Jahi can overcome that as a 17-year-old tonight.
You know, I watched Tucker's debut. He was reckless. He came out like a bat out of hell. He got the knockout, but right now he's a little bit more settled down in this fight. You know, he's trying to place his shots. He's throwing good combinations in there. Nice uppercut right there from him. Gardner's on the outside right now. He's a sharpshooter. He's a counterpuncher. He can fight well out of any position. You know, he's a very athletic fighter.
Good head movement there from Jahi Tucker, making Charles Garner miss. Garner's corner was saying versus boy. We're talking about a young man who's 17 years old in his second professional fight against Garner, who is 26 years old now in his second professional fight. Oh, nice check hook there from Jahi Tucker, catching Garner as he comes in.
Yeah, it was a nice little check hook. It was a placement shot, but it wasn't no effect on the punch, no power on the shot. He didn't sit down on it. But right now, he's having a lot of success in the inside. You know, very rarely do you see a tall fighter that can fight well in the inside, and you seeing it right here from Tucker. Beautiful work.
Taking some body shots, too, from Charles Garner as round 1 comes to an end.
Time.
Round 2 of our first fight on Loma Lopez fight card. Tim,
Yeah.
your favorite camera. Let's take a look from the overhead camera that you call dog.
Yeah, this is a teaching point right here. Boxing 101. You're going to see Tucker. He's going to throw the right hand, and look at the back foot. It comes forward. He's off balance. You have to straddle that foot down. You have to cement that foot down, that back foot, and not bring it forward. And you saw him do it there. So that's a teaching point for him. He can go back to the gym and work on that. And there's one more thing that I saw in the corner during the rest period. He had his arms up on the ropes. So he was actually stopping the oxygen from getting through his body. You know, your arms, you use your arms while you're fighting. You need to have those limbs down in front of you so it can get the oxygen needed to be able to continue to throw punches, baby.
Nice uppercuts from Tucker here in round 2 of a scheduled 4-round fight. Looking for the body of Garner, who continues to fire back. Garner's got his mouth open since the beginning of the fight. Could just be a bad habit.
Could be a bad habit. Been a year out of the ring. Normally, typically, it takes you about four rounds to warm up, you know, to get acclimated.
There's that nice 1-2 combination, setting up the jab just to blind and then connect with the right hand. And Jahi Tucker, nose bleeding now for CG3, Charles Garner.
Keep him in front. Keep him in front.
See, one thing that I like about Tucker is that his willingness to fight. You can't teach this, man. You know, you got to have it in your heart to be willing to exchange and to be in the trenches. The technique he can still work on. You know, he's 17 years old. He's still developing. He didn't have a whole lot of amateur experience, maybe about 60 fights or so.
Only 36 amateur fights for Jahi Tucker and 40 amateur fights for Charles Garner. So both are still learning on the job.
Yeah, pretty much still learning on the job.
Nice right hand there from Jahi Tucker.
But I like the fact that he can, you know, he's punching in the inside. He's actually going down to the body.
Keep him up.
You know, you don't see a lot of guys that are this green going down to the body, and he's really committing himself down to the body.
And Garner might have started that too, because he started to go to the body as a counter when Tucker was going to the head. But nice right hands there from Jahi Tucker, the 17-year-old. The mouthpiece comes flying out of the mouth of Garner. Nice body shot from Garner. Trying to test the young kid's fortitude early on. Good inside work from both fighters here as the left hooks land, and we're going to have a break here to finally replace the mouthpiece on Garner.
Okay, let's go. Time in.
They had the replacement mouthpiece ready to go, and, you know, that's good sport. Bernardo Osuna alongside Timothy Bradley, round 3 of a scheduled 4-round fight, and Jahi Tucker's father, who was also his trainer, was saying, hey, good work, but you may be down. I'm not sure about that.
You know what? I'm not scoring this match. It looks kind of even right now. Both guys are having their moments. Tucker really digging down, had some good work in the second round, digging down to the body, and landed a beautiful uppercut as well inside the pocket. But right now, it looks like Garner's coming on a little bit. Tucker might be a little bit gassed. Could be.
His father said, I want you to box this round, and he looks a lot better when he's boxing, Tim. He's got the skills to work from the outside.
I mean, when you're tall and you have those advantages, arm reach and height, you know, typically you want to use those to your advantage. Stay on the outside.
Watch the hands.
Right now, he's being mauled and roughed up in the inside at the moment.
This was the plan for Garner's corner. It was, look, 26-year-old man, 17-year-old boy. We got to take advantage of that. And, you know, Jahi Tucker trying to stand his ground here in round 3 and use those boxing skills, that head movement. A nice check left hook from Jahi Tucker. But there's a work to the body from Garner.
Break. Come on, break clean. Let's go. Right down.
Tucker gets elite sparring with Shakur Stevenson, Richard Comey, Richardson Hitchens, and Mickey Bay. So he's prepared. He's ready.
And that's what's showing. That's what's showing right now. You know, anytime Garner gain any type of momentum, what does Tucker do? He come right back. Momentum. What does Tucker do? He come right back.
Work it out. Hands free, guys. Hands free.
Garner, a fighter that just quit his job at the Buffalo General Hospital. Quit his job at the Buffalo General Hospital right before the pandemic began. And he said, all the jobs that I've had over the years have been around my boxing schedule. So now he's finally dedicated himself strictly to boxing. He's got a new team, new corner, new manager. The man who was the original manager of Oscar De La Hoya, Steve Nelson, also Hasim Rahman.
Wow, so they must see something in him. You know, no one wants to get involved with you if they don't see something in a particular fighter. You know, and he managed Oscar De La Hoya, so that says something about Garner.
Yeah, William Joppy was another guy they took to the world title. So nice double left hook from Jahi Tucker.
You know, Garner could be a lot better if he keeps his hands up. You know, he drops his hands way too much. If he kept his hands up, if he throw his combinations and kept his hands up, he'll block a lot of punches coming back from Tucker.
Good finish from Jahi Tucker here in round number 3. What was once again a very close round. Ready for the fourth and final round of this fight between Jahi Tucker and Charles Garner. And Tim, that was a head clash that happened there in round 3.
Yeah, Garner can turn southpaw orthodox, and it looked like he was in the southpaw position. And when you have two aggressive guys going head to head, you know, and digging down to the body, headbutts are going to typically happen at those moments. Here it is. He was in the southpaw position. He came in with a power shot, the backhand, and you see there Tucker coming up with his body shot, bringing his head inside. You know, that impact is devastating. I know a little bit of thing about, you know, headbutt.
Hey, you beat me to it, Tim, huh?
Yeah, I did. Before you even was coming. Oh, yeah.
He was getting really good at anticipation.
Now, the thing is, the problem is that both guys lean forward. You know, you got Tucker who gives up his height. Then you have Garner, who's just leaning forward, looking for body shots, and they're not getting their head off the line to get in position to land a clean body shot. So their heads are going to come together often.
Let's go.
That's Jahi Tucker's father, Mackinnon Tucker, from Jamaica, is the man who is his trainer. Asked him to box more. And on the other side, Timothy Nolan told Charles Garner, look, I need the doc to come out here. You need to be in his face and throw punches.
Nice move right there from Tucker. Stepping around, but he didn't do anything.
Yeah, Garner finished that sequence with a short right hand to the jaw of Tucker, but not much behind it. And you see the fatigue here in round 4 settling in for both young fighters. Good body work from Garner.
It's a very, very competitive fight from both men. You know, both men are having their moments.
Watch that shoulder.
A much better performance from Jahi Tucker than that wild debut that we saw the first time out that you had mentioned earlier.
A bit more. I mean, you know, he can continue to work on and groom his, you know, technique, get his technique down.
Let him go.
He doesn't know range. I mean, he can punch from any range. He can punch in the inside, mid-range as well, and as well as outside, but it would serve him a lot more if he was to stay outside. Learn how to fight outside.
Nice uppercuts from Jahi Tucker. The scouting report from Garner and his corner on Jahi was he throws a lot of looping shots, so we got to get inside of that. But he's tightened up tonight.
Let him go. Let him go. Stop. Here we go. Watch the head. Watch the hits. Here we go. Keep him up.
Ladies and gentlemen, here inside MGM Grand, after 4 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for the official decision. All 4 judges, Glenn Feldman, Lisa Giampa, and Dave Moretti, score the bout 40-36. For your winner by unanimous decision, Jahi Tucker!
Well, Tim, they saw it a lot wider than you did.
Well, I mean, you know, he was busy. There were spots where he was able to get out and box.